Hey, what's going on guys? It's Ben from the Parker Brothers and welcome back to another fishing vlog. I'm walking down a path at the moment because I'm just on the way to the factory, the Parker Baits HQ. I've got some dog biscuits and it's bloomin' and sunny. Look at this, absolutely, it's roasting. It's absolutely roasting. Little heat wave coming in this week, so be rude not to really. I've got a couple of hours underneath my belt. I'm seeing a good friend that I haven't seen in a long time this evening, and I plan on going fishing tomorrow. But because I'm seeing that gentleman tonight, I'm going to get a couple of hours floater fishing in, so hopefully I can create a video for you guys and put something together. But like I said, I'm down Parker Baits HQ, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these dog biscuits, put some molasses on them, get some magic dust on them, prep them, so when I get down there, they're absolute game changers. I'm going to do that quick, jump in my car, get some petrol, head to the local water, and hopefully bag some absolute monsters. I'll see you in a bit. Right, well, I can go in there like that. So next up is molasses. You've probably seen this before guys, really cheap. You don't need much of it, but it's really sweet as well, so I just put a little bit of that in. That's probably enough, probably a bit too much to be fair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix that now, but I am holding the camera, so I'm not going to be able to do that, but I'm going to give it a quick mix in my shower. So then it will look something like that. Almost looks like little chocolate buttons now. Look at that. If all of them have got a nice fine coating on, like I said, you've seen how much I put in, but that molasses now will soak into them baits. And obviously it's quite sunny as well, so what I will do is I'll dry these out again when I get there. But what I'm going to do is now, magic dust, probably a little different now to you guys normally see it, but I'm going to put that in, like that. It's probably about that much of a tub, if you like, but now I'm going to mix that in. Again, I'll do that and I'll show you how they come out. Right, so that's that there. Absolute game changer these are. So as you can see, this is the Parker Baits Magic Dust. You buy this in little 300 gram pots, and like you say, there's about, in this particular one, there's over 30 different food particles. So what that does is, obviously I've added the molasses, it's all sticking to the bait. So you can either fish this on the bottom within your stick mixes, spob mixes, PVA bags, whatever that be, with your particle. And what it does is when it hits the water, whether you're fishing on the bottom, it flicks up from all the different levels of the water column. So it kind of pulls the fish to your hook bait if you're fishing it on your hook bait as well. But they are going to be a game changer. They already look beautiful, and that has taken me all of about, I don't know, a minute probably to do all in all. So there they are. Wag, chicken and rice, dog biscuits, molasses over the top, and I'll again finish it with a game changer, Parker Baits Magic Dust, and that's the OG fish one as well. So like I said, 30 plus different food particles in there. Let's get these back in that bag, get back in that car, and let's get back up that lake, or get to the lake. Come on. Obviously, before we start guys, give us a thumbs up, make sure you comment down below, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos going forward. If you're new around here, my name's Ben, and every Sunday 7:30 we upload a new video to the Parker Brothers YouTube channel. So let's have it. So what I'm going to do is very quickly, before I go to the lake, we've actually got a lake here at Parker Baits HQ. We're very lucky in that respect. So this is where I come down, I trial different things, I practice my casting, I see how rigs sit on the bottom, I trial the bait, loads of different stuff we're doing. But the main thing for today is, there's me giving it the big one about mixers are mixers, but just hopefully these ones float after I've done them bits to it. I'm going to flick it round and have a look now and see how the fish react to it. Check this out. That's a good sign, they're floating. That's a good sign. Yeah, there's fish playing about with them already. Well, they're floating, fish are coming up, which is a good sign. I don't know whether they've been fed this morning, the fish, to be brutally honest. There's some slightly bigger ones coming up there now. Look at this is ridiculous. Clearly loving them. My personal opinion on that is we're probably smelling that magic dust straight away, and then obviously then seeing the biscuit, because as you throw them in, all the food particles come off and just mass the water around the surrounding area, and then obviously fish smell it, and then you get this effect. They start competing and it's game over. I just hope it's like this up the lake I'm going to. Right, that's enough for me.
Mate, I'm buzzing for this. First time I haven't floated fish this year at all. Got a bait in my hand, look. Walking back up where my car is now at the top. But yeah, I'm really buzzing for it, to be honest. Call me like a kid at Christmas, but I don't know about you guys, you can give us a comment down below, but when you get them going on the top, there's nothing else like it. And seeing them come up and... So I bought a loaf of bread, I bought some thick Hovis thick cut bread. So you can get some, I'll go for the middle of the bread and just wrap around the hook. Use these to intimidate them and then obviously nail them with the bread normally. But I've got a few tricks up my sleeves. I can super glue stuff or super glue baits to the back of hooks and stuff. So I've got a few options. But car's there. I want to get in that now. Drive to the lake and hopefully, like I say, I've got a couple of hours, so I'm pushing at this video, but I'm going to do what I can, work my backside off and get a fish on the bank. I'll see you guys when I'm at the lake. See you in a bit.
Oh yes, oh yes baby, that's what we like to see. No cars, no school holidays baby. I think we got the lake to myself. Oh mate, if only. I bet there's a couple of people in there, but that's a good start, mate. That is a good start. How is there no one here? How is there no one here? Whoa, come on. Look at that, very light barrow, just the essentials on there, and I think I've got the lake to myself. Look at that, who'd have thought it? Lovely lake this. You got your own little swim. I've done plenty of video work up here before, guys, and if you haven't seen this lake before, jump over to the channel and go and check it out. Hands down one of my favourite lakes because of the fish that are in it, and not only of that, it's peaceful. It's just a beautiful lake, and visually very attractive as well. And like you said, you've got your own little swim, your own little intimate swim, your own little bit of lilies, so nobody can cast over someone. It's just, this is the place to be. Look at this. Right, without further ado, I'm going to start going around now. I've got my Polaroids on, and see if I can start seeing some fish, start flicking out some of them mixes, Blue Peter style I made earlier. So let's flick some of them out and see if I can get them going. Come on the carp. Right, so I keep in the loop. I'm now 2 swims up. Every swim I go in where I think the carp would be, I've used the throwing stick, because I haven't got my catapult, just to flick out some mixers on the top. The ducks ain't too much of a problem here, but obviously being if it was busy now, you'd struggle doing this, but because there's no one here, I've got the flexibility to go around each swim, even before I sort my rods out or anything, just to prime a few spots. And then what I can do is, I like this bank over here, because you can get on that bank and you can actually see the whole lake. So if a fish starts slurping over here, I can come round, so on, and act upon it as in when I need to. So that's what I'm going to continue doing. I'm going to keep working my way round, flicking bits of bait, and hopefully entice some carp to start feeding. Well, it's taken about 45 minutes, but I've just seen one. He's come in. He ain't taken any yet, but he's just come in, so that's good. They're in the zone out there now. So I'm going to keep pushing on this spot. I'm not even going to think about getting a rod out yet till they're confident on the bait. But my mixers have dramatically decreased there, so as you can tell, I've put a little bit of bait out, but the ducks have had most of it. So I'm going to definitely stay in this swim now I've seen one, and see if I can get them going.
Absolutely sweltering. That fish that come in earlier, like I said, didn't take any. It sort of come off and then flanked off to the left towards the lilies, and like it's probably 20 odd minutes on since the last clip. I've even taken the drone up to get some footage, some nice intimate footage for the video, and to have a little spy, but nothing. Heat like this and they're not on the top, I just don't know what I'm doing wrong, to be honest. I really don't. I mean, I flicked them out, I've waited and I've waited and I've waited. It's just, yeah, they're just not having it. So what I have done is I've flicked out some bottom baits. There's like a little gap in between the lilies where they sort of, they definitely use as a path, because I've fished this swim before, and as I've hooked into the fish, it's went straight for that flank, straight for that gap in the lilies. So I think I'm going to put at least one rod out on the bottom, just flick it out underarm cast, may even use the pole and see if I can get it in that gap. I've already, like I said, I've already put 20-30 baits over there, and my other plan of action is potentially come back tomorrow and do a couple of days up here. So I don't know. I'm going to keep watching and keep patient, because that's another thing with fishing. As a lot of you know, you can get a bit frustrated with things and think, what am I doing wrong here, when it's not happening. It can all go so right sometimes, and then sometimes it can go complete opposite end of the spectrum and just be absolutely totally dog, and you just don't catch nothing. So yeah, I'm going to keep positive, keep looking, and maybe do another lap. I've already done 2. Do another lap and just see if I can find the buggers. So that's where I'm at, that's what I'm doing. A couple of hours left, so let's try and find them. Come on, Ben. As I just finished that clip, he's probably about 2 foot underneath the water. You're probably not going to see him in this camera. Just underneath the surface out there. Here. He's not taken though. He ain't silly. He ain't silly. Oh, and I'll be damned, he's coming up to that path exactly where I just said, that's that path I mentioned. He's just pulled in the lilies just up from it. What do I do? What would you guys do? I'm definitely going to wait before I start flicking rods out, because if there is anything out there, and they are a bit finicky as it is, I don't want to go and kill my chance. There's also bubbles coming up where I flicked that bait earlier, so I've got options. I'll keep you posted. So plan of action, I've got the OG Fish Magic Dust, and what I've done is I've literally dunked my whole lead, big old lead, quite a long leader, that's about 7-inch stiff boom, with an OG Fruit and Nuts bottom bait with a little white topper on the top there, because I do feel that where it's really silty here, the bait just stands out better, and the combination of the two is game over. So I'm going to put a little bit of foam on that, so when it hits the deck it feathers itself down and you get that perfect presentation. And that rod is going where all that fizzing is right now. So boom, that's that rod out. Just off that spot where I mentioned to you before, underarm flick. I am using a big lead, probably a bit of a mistake there, to be honest. I mean, I say this after I've cast, I probably should have used a really small one to feather it out so it didn't scare nothing off. It was quite a chuckle when it hit the deck. But you can see the foam's popped up now, and then there's actually roach having a go at the bit of foam out there. So that says to me that she's definitely sitting nice, but it's very shallow out there as well, because it was about a second, boom, dunk, dunk, straight away. So
Oh, that'd be nice if that one runs off. I want going to fish on the bottom, but they certainly ain't on the top. Well, not at the moment anyway. So eyes back on here, watch the water, try and get them feeding. If not, I'm just going to keep that rod there. It's pointless putting a rod out if I can't see them, they're not feeding actively. That's just my personal opinion on it. I don't know what your thoughts are, but yeah, I think I'm going to just keep watching until further notice, basically. So yeah, it's definitely doing its job. That magic dust is unbelievable. I mean, you're not going to see it, but a fish has just come in. He's circled where I've dropped my bait. That single, obviously where I put the magic dust, he's circled and circled, and so he didn't drop, he swam off. But what I'm trying to say is that is exactly my point with magic dust. That particle, that food, different food particles in the blood plasmas are going up through the different levels of the water column. He is smelling that fish is smelling that, but just don't want to drop down. That's my opinion on it, and that it's just such a powerful tool. It really is. I'm a big fan of single hook baits, and I don't know if you guys fish single hook baits, but especially when the winter comes, I want to pack in as much attraction as humanly possible within my hook bait to eliminate putting loads of bait out and get a quick bite within the winter. And that is what I'm going to be doing this coming winter. That magic dust is, I'm going to be all over it. I'm going to be putting on my singles, fishing singles, finding the fish, putting singles on their head, and hopefully producing some fish. Hopefully that fish that I just saw do the circle and then go off comes back and does the drop and then starts feeding, because if he gets a little taste for that, it's game over. Oh, I've got a few friends down there, the duckies as well, look at them. Right, so I'm running straight through, so I've got a strong line. It's like 16 pound Exocet. I've just put it on really. I've never used this line before, but it's thin as thin. It looks beautiful and it went on really nice. It's spooled up beautiful. But what I've done is little PVA mesh bag there, single hook tied straight to the main line with a tiny little bit of bread. Basically what this does is just help, well, basically act as a weight when it comes off. That disperses. You've got baits around your hook bait. I'm going to cast it up tight to the lilies because there's a fish out there feeding now. Hopefully he stays there and this don't spook him, but it's just trying to get it on the money out there now. I'm going to try and lick it on the thing and then pull it over the lilies. That's what I normally do, but let's see how we get on. Right, so a little bit of change of plan. I had to put a distance float on there, a bit excessive, but it's all I had. Quite a long leader with the hook again, exactly the same setup. It's a size 4 floater hook from IB with a little bit of bread. And there's a fish actually taking to the swim just up from me, which is literally there. So I'm going to give that a buzz. Let's have it then, come on. Well, it's just gone 2 o'clock. It's very hard going, but I've managed to. Well, there's one down here, he come up and took one, and the other one is gone. But I'm going to keep on the spot. I've thrown a couple of balls of bait out, bottom baits on the left hand rod, and I've also flicked some bread round here to try and encourage them to start taking. I'm going to keep you posted. I'll turn the camera around. I'm fishing locked up on both rods, so I've got to be on both rods, but I'm literally here fishing out the swim. I've got my top bait over here, bottom bait, as I mentioned earlier, in between the gully where the fish I think use as a path to go through. So time will tell, time will tell. Really struggling, if I'm honest. I've even pulled that rod in now, my floater rod, because there's just nothing taken out there, which baffles me with this heat. But then I guess it has just come in all of a sudden. It's not been the best weather over the duration in the last couple of weeks, and all of a sudden it's coming in over 20. It's like, hello. Maybe the fish are a bit shocked by it, excuses aside, but yeah, it's not looking ideal. I've got a couple of hours left. I'm thinking of moving to the right. I have seen a fish show. I've been locked onto the water. Sort of next one up, something happened, some commotion. It was definitely a fish, 100% it was a fish, but I'm thinking of maybe flicking a bit of bait out and then going over there and see what happens. And what I've done is I've just thrown in a load of OG fish in there, probably about a kilo and a bit. I'm going to go home and I am going to get some more, but quite lucky because obviously where I'm fishing the day before I can actually use lake water to wash my baits out. So when I get home I'm going to open another couple of kilos, drop them in, let them wash out in there, and then tomorrow over the duration next, oh sorry about the water on the screen there, and then I can fish the washed out baits over the top over the next 48 when I come back tomorrow morning. So that's the plan, and I think I'm going to head over there very soon. 3:30 now, or sorry, 4:15. It's getting on a bit, it's just not happening. I said I was going to move, but I thought I saw something, but I don't think I did see something. Yeah, a bit frustrating really, really frustrating, but I probably should at least try an hour and, you know, put all my stuff on my barrow and just sort of plod round and just see if I can see anything on the baits, on the spots that I prepped earlier. So that's all I can do really, and all I've got to update you with at the moment. So yeah, pretty bleak here. That rod hasn't even had a sniff, the one on the bottom, so that's not very reassuring considering I'm back tomorrow and I'm going to jump straight back in this swim permitting. There's nobody in it, so that's the plan, Stan. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Ooh, so I just got off the phone to a good friend called Marcus, and someone you may have seen in the video work before, someone who definitely helped me when I caught 7 scales on a previous video. And if you haven't seen that video, guys, that's a definite must watch. What a fish, and the biggest fish in the lake, and you'll see that on the thumbnail. But going back to Marcus, he's just called me. So he's up Yateley and he's fishing the Match Lake, and he's just had a 37-pound common. Obviously this is on the screen now, guys, so yeah, 37-pound common. Look at this. It's pink along the bottom, it's dark across the top. If you could paint a carp, well, in my eyes, this is what it would look like. Mate, fair play to you, absolutely smashed it. And I think he's done another 2-3 fish as well, which is unheard of from a lake like that, because it is absolutely as hard as a nut up there. It's not an easy lake. The fish are very switched on, they know exactly what they're doing, they've seen it all before, and he's managed 3 fish and a 37-pound common. So mate, fair play to you. But I wanted to add this to the video because it's credit where it's due. You've been working your backsides up there, you and Louis, and you've managed it, so fair play, bud. Smashed it. So it's just gone 4, as you can see. I've moved round and it's looking pretty dead out there, to be brutally honest with you. It's just, maybe people know something I don't. I've literally been here all day and I haven't seen one person. I'm not complaining whatsoever, because if I'm honest, I prefer it like that. But yeah, on the fishing front, not so good, really not so good. So what I've done is I've flicked a single out on the left hand rod, and then I've put a bit of bread and my controller out on the right hand rod to see whether I can entice one to take that. And I've got that right on the end of them, that line there to the right hand side, so fingers crossed. Well guys, I've actually had to call it a day. I've just got a phone call from my brother, and you guys probably watching this video have made some orders, so I've got to go back and package them up and make some more magic dust as well, which doesn't take 5 minutes. It's quite a complex thing to do really, weighing each thing up bit by bit, making sure it's bang on. So I'm one of these guys that if fish just showed right over the back there, if it's not 110% and it's not weighed, it's not 27, it's 25 grams for instance, it's got to be bang on, and that's just how me and Tom work.
But like I say, without further ado guys, like I say, apologies for cutting this one short, but stay tuned, because if you're watching this video, next week's video, Sunday 7:30, will be the run on. So I'm going to actually do tomorrow and the next day, I think. So 2 nights, 48 hours. I'm quite looking forward to that. So I'm looking forward to getting up early tomorrow and heading down, getting the rods out, and hopefully bagging a few that I'm after in here, which is a couple of commons. So like I say guys, that's it. I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks very much for watching. If you've liked this video, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below guys. Smash that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos going forward. Take care, take care, and I will see you next Sunday 7:30. All the best. Peace out.